She's standing, she's not sitting.
It's Dunyarzad's puppet.
Don't tell her that. I guess I feel better if I say this out loud. Is she gonna talk? Is she gonna talk? Is she gonna talk? Outside of memory? Of course she bloody isn't. Thank you.
Traveler,
What am I doing?
you must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really, really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago.
Oh yeah, that was right there, wasn't it? I forgot about that.
Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilu's Dance of Sub-Zerus.
I can barely recall it now.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Sorry, that one hit me. Out of absolutely nowhere.
Yes, Traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come...
Not leave behind any regrets. Let's go, Paimon. Oh my god.
Where are we going this time?
I have felt absolutely nothing in regards to Dunyarzad at all. I had zero emotions on the matter, and then just that line killed me. Come on, Nilu. It's time to do what you were meant to do. Yes, dance! I have been wanting to see this thing. Oh, I took a long way again. For so damn long. Fuck the sage. Get it done. I want to watch it so badly. And that will be the end of Dunyarzad's regrets.
We will have to order an investigation into every single event organized. The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency. I advise that you exercise tact.
Oh, shut up and move aside before I kick you aside, Zataria.
How did things turn out like this?
Savior to the rescue.
Traveler? You don't have to get involved. He's a sage from the academia. I don't want to drag you into
Nah,
this.
he's just a puppet too. Let's just kick him aside.
Traveler.
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the academia, that's another day gone to waste. Wait, they're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff?
Just like I thought, they're puppets.
Oh, of course. If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this.
Nope, because you'd be living through the same thing over and over and over and over.
So they're just substitutes.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage?
Hold on a moment, what's up with those flowers? Oh, the flowers!
Like I said,
Right!
they symbolize the goddess of flowers. It's just a shame that all the real Padisaras went extinct after her death.
It would have been much cooler if that had been brought to our attention the first time we came to the stage, that we then stood out a bit more in our vision, even if they weren't specifically referenced. It'd be an extra bit of foreshadowing.
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Padisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful shade of purple.
So the question becomes, is Nilu creating them because it's what she really wants in her dream for the Festival of Sub-Zerus, or is it Lesser Lord Kusanali creating them? Probably the former. It's her dream after all.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Padisaras? just like the ones from the legend?
Ah!
I didn't even notice.
No!
Tanyarzad, did you find these?
No, that is what Lesser Lord Kusanali got from Irminsul. She went to grab the damn flowers.
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of flowers passed away? So, how?
Yeah. What's going on here?
Nilu, close your eyes.
Huh?
I'll be gentle. I imagine that the great Grand Sage and his entourage are not here in front of you.
You guys are acting weird.
I mean, the sage is frozen in front of you, and you
But
think I'm
okay,
acting weird?
I'll try.
Get out of here, mother trucker. Bye-bye. See you in real life. I could sucker punch you in
So
person.
Nilu's the host. What a surprise!
It's really not.
Purple body Saras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilu's subconscious, they can appear as decorations on the stage. It's just like the example Nahida told us. People assume there will be food on a plate, and so when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilu?
Correct.
But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to become aware that they're dreaming. How should we make Nilu realize that?
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
I mean, all you have to do is tell it to her. How'd you come to that conclusion? Because people just disappeared in front of her eyes? That shit ain't normal. It's really not that hard to figure out.
So I'm right. Is this Lesser Lord Kusanali responding to our celebration of the Sabzeruz festival?
Actually, yes, it is.
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what made you think this is a dream? As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream, right?
Ah, that's the complication. Not getting people to believe that they're in a dream, getting a Sumerian to believe they're in a dream. That's the challenge.
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went on a journey to find the Dendro Archon.
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like that when we first arrived in
Yeah, I
Sumeru
don't
City.
remember. It was ages
So
ago.
it was about the first sage, huh?
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. There's more to the story.
I don't care. Get to the dancing. Get to the swish swish.
His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon, and she finally gave her blessing to him. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children. I've been away from home for far too long. They must be worried." The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his bed, as if he had just woken up from a dream. His wife, lying next to him, said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you? Have a safe journey, my love."
What? Are you saying that the Archon was the one to create the first Samsara?
In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City and founded the Academia. What a happy ending.
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the story? He never went on his journey?
Or did he go on his journey, but the Archon just turned it into a dream?
Yes. But his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon, so she blessed him in the form of a dream.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection. But we really gotta wake up soon, like the sage in the story.
Now that Nilo is aware of it, this dream should be over soon.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sabzeruz festival is almost over too.
It's not over until you dance.
Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sabzeruz as beautiful as we can.
Yeah, and you can imagine all pretty shit like flying around you because it's a dream. This is gonna be great. I've been waiting a long time for this. Please dance your heart out, girl. I'm so excited. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. This is exactly the shit I was talking about.
The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the Dance of Sub-Zerus.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Oh, good morning, traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep for the longest time.
We all know that when Misha's silent, Misha's crying. Okay, okay. In a good way or a bad way? My head hurts. I'm sure your head does hurt.
Paimon's head feels super heavy. Did we oversleep? Do you even remember going to sleep last night?
Oh, I hope you guys have your memories, otherwise all this would have been for naught.
Paimon thinks it was after the Sub-Zero's festival.
Which one?
The Sub-Zero's festival! Have we finally escaped from the Sub-Zero Samsara?
I remember now. Wait, this is the quickest we've ever remembered. Usually we have to get to a blah 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 Nahida.
Quick! Take off your Akasha terminal!
Smash that bitch! At the end of the Sub-Zero's... Oops, Dance of the Sub-Zero's, I think I saw... Quick, let's go see Dunyazad! Where is she? Is she gonna be in her home? Yeah, that's where they're going. She's not there? Dear?
She's not in her room. What happened?
Let's go to the usual spot.
Huh? What usual spot?
What do you mean, what usual spot? The bloody bench. What kind of question is that, Paimon? The place we've gone about 1 trillion times since we started this quest. Is there a quick way to get there? Oh, you meant that usual spot. That's not Dunyazad's spot. That's Nahida's spot. Dunyazad's is down by the bench. What the fuck is Catherine doing here? She's not a medic. Unless she has learned the ways of medicine.
And Paimon.
Wait. That's not Catherine's voice.
And thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sub-Zero's festival for me.
Is it because Catherine doesn't have a spirit that she was easy to take over? Or did you assume the form of Catherine because people won't find it suspicious? Oh, this is hilarious. That sounds wrong, by the way. I do not want to hear your voice coming out of Catherine's mouth ever again. It's disturbing. And she's not dead! Thank God for that.
I'm sorry, who are...
I wasted my tears on you.
Dunyarzad! You're okay! Oh, don't scare us like that!
Dunyazad.
Oh, a traveler, Paimon. I have something amazing to tell you.
She saw it in her dream.
I just had a dream. And I saw Nilou performing the Dance of Sub-Zerus.
And she remembers it. Yeah. Yo, Kusanale. Wait, is she just going to be Catherine now?
You're actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sub-Zero's festival.
Yeah, but she sounded like Catherine, didn't she?
And Dunyarzad, did you save her? It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened.
How do I meet you? How do I save you?
Let's chat somewhere else.
How do we fuck up the Academia's day?
How about by the Traveler's favorite bench?
It's not my bench, it's Dunyarzad's bench. What's with the dramatic music? Jesus. You think I just got into battle or something? Or won a war? There you go. That's a little more like it. It somehow seems more chill despite being the exact same rhythm. So, how are we going to destroy the Samsara and the Akasha terminal? And how are we going to get these bloody sages permanently punished? Because that's my end goal. Oh wait, we've got to see if Catherine was at a booth. Damn it.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first.
Music, shut up.
Such a relief that she's all right. After we parted on the last day of the Subzerus Festival, I left the city and saw what the Traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But this also meant it escaped the Akasha's control.
Again, I cannot look at Catherine with that voice coming out of her. Can you change body? Literally anybody else, just not Catherine.
Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear.
So, now that I've got you here, Elazar, know any way to fix it?
I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. But it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the samsara. So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end.
Elazar, good team.
Not a moment too soon.
A very happy ending. This is truly a miracle.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. I need to spend more time observing human emotions.
You absolutely do. And social norms.
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently.
But also true. And the same person can react differently to different stimuli.
All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
What do you mean I don't have any questions? I've got heaps of questions for you, honey. Not all of them can be answered in one day. About what I saw in that dream at the Avidya Forest.
At the Avidya Forest, there was this incense that made the Traveler fall unconscious and dream of a huge tree and a red sky.
And the voice that said, "World, forget me."
You also heard someone's voice, right? It said world and forget me.
Have you dreamt of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata as well?
Yeah, so you do know. We've been wanting to ask you what that was about, and if the red sky was related to Conria. It seems like the Traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul. Perhaps her last memory before she died.
You're not telling me anything groundbreaking. I already figured that out.
As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do line up, so your suspicions are reasonable. A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from the Scarlet King.
Bitch, since when? We never once thought it was a message from the Scarlet King. Pfft.
The Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago?
Wait.
Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him.
Oh, they're using
You
male
probably
pronouns.
just heard some of their conspiracies.
I was wondering if the Scarlet King was actually female as well, since we seem to have fucking lords being female, which I hate. So I was wondering if maybe the king was female as well, but they literally using male pronouns, so no.
Okay, so what does the message mean? I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently capable of doing that. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the academia about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it.
I don't think the academia cares. Just putting it nicely.
But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to decipher it.
But why do you lock yourself away from the people? It's not doing anybody any good, except maybe the sages.
So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tainari also said that Irminsul is sick. Is it because of the contaminated consciousness? But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about, it seems like our search for you was all in vain.
Oh, come on. She's an absolute peach. How do you call that in vain?
The traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like that. With you here, we may have a chance at deciphering it.
As long as you don't require my brain power.
No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other factors that might affect Irminsul. This is the only one left.
What is it? What is it?
This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Tevat's.
But what is it? You've been very vague here, dear. Why do you look like Catherine?
To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness.
I called it.
How did you do that? Poor Catherine. Does this mean you can also occupy other people's consciousnesses?
And that's where we definitively learned that Catherine is a robot from Fontaine. Gotcha.
Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal.
Cause that ain't terrifying or anything.
The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha terminal, my consciousness has always been linked to the Akasha. I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness.
Oh, sorry, it's Snezhnaya.
When
not
necessary,
Fontaine.
I
Wrong
just
country.
borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet. Hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secrets? So Catherine is... No wonder Paimon felt something was off about her.
Is Catherine going to remember this when she regains consciousness?
What about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's?
Good question.
Don't you live in the sanctuary of Surasthana? That story begins a long time ago.
Oh, you're actually giving it to us.
After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born self and took me back to Sumeru. At that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Surasthana, ostensibly for the sake of protecting me. But I've hardly heard from them since. However, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of me, a symbol of her passing.
I still think that this situation feels like it's like a 10-year span, not a 500-year span. And what, you just, once you regained strength, you sat patiently in your room for 450 years doing jack shit? It's just not believable.
So, the sages basically put their new Archon under house arrest? How dare they! Why don't you teach them a lesson, Nahida? In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. Even after her death, the Akasha is still empowering this nation.
I'd get rid of it. It's unnecessary.
And I'm still really far away from being able to call myself the God of Wisdom. Moreover, the academia is also more proficient at governing this country. My existence has little meaning.
Oh, yeah, sure. Is this the same academia we're talking about that was like totally creating these samsara and that was literally killing people because they wanted to, what's the word I'm looking for? Take advantage? What's the word I'm looking for that means that? Anyway, take advantage of people's dreams? Yeah, that academia? You think they're more proficient at governing this country while they literally kill people under your nose? Slap, slap, slap. Where is your wake-up call, dear? To me, you're already an excellent Archon. You have the kind heart and soul that this place needs. You need to bring art and love and passion back to this frigid bitch city.
Yeah, you got a lot of believers. Just look at the Sub-Zero's festival. Everyone who showed up truly loves you. Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need physical freedom as long as I can connect my consciousness to the Akasha. Trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission and top priority. I will work on that, and try to live up to being a deity in the meantime.
I don't really think that's a good enough reason to have been absent in people's lives for 500 years, but whatever you do, you girl. You're gonna do it regardless.
Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there. Doing all that should be enough.
Has it ever occurred to you that you should take a different epithet, a different moniker? Why do you have to be the God of Wisdom? You know? Why can't you be the god of something else? A god of something that actually resonates with you? And why a god of wisdom? Why not a goddess of wisdom? Because you got the goddess of flowers, so they are gendered pronouns. Or gendered titles, rather. So why god of wisdom, not the goddess of wisdom? That's something I would like an answer to. But yeah, the point still stands. Why god of wisdom? Be the god of freaking flowers. Take that role from the goddess of flowers. Be a goddess of kindness. Of a pure heart. Jesus, pick anything under the sun that pertains to you. You don't have to be the same as your predecessor.
There's never been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeria.
Ha!
This is the first time I've seen them step out of line.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were you not preoccupying your time with the Akasha and trying to solve the problem of the Irminsul? I don't think you've been keeping an eye on the day-to-day activities in Sumeria City and Sumeria as a whole.
I wonder what caused them to go down this path. And what they hope to achieve.
Darkness, greed, and desperation.
Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, if the traveler hadn't broken the Sub-Zero's samsara, the situation could have become dire.
More than dire. People would literally be dead.
I tried to do some investigating.
How many have died
in the
thus far
Akasha,
to
but I
this?
couldn't find anything suspicious. And all the people of interest seem to purposely avoid wearing their Akasha terminals.
Wow, and that's not suspicious or anything?
I think they're deliberately trying to hide something.
No way.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited Kainari to join some kind of project. Could it be related?
No, his project was revolving around the Withering. That was completely different.
Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives, make things right, and punish them if needed. But I'll have to be discreet, or they'll see me coming.
I doubt it. I don't think they give you any thought or any credit. I don't think they think that you're capable of doing anything. No one has realized the issue with the Akasha?
You mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been such a long time. No one's noticed something's up? It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared. Ultimately, it's all rooted in the sage's misdirection.
Yeah, because of what they said back at the beginning of No Dreams.
Misdirection?
It's a gift, right?
The sage has convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Not dreaming is a badge of honor in Sumeria.
Because y'all is stupid.
Even if the truth is that their dreams are being reaped by the Akasha. With their propaganda in place, the sages can maximize their use of the Akasha to facilitate their research.
Wow, she's bringing out the big guns. She used the P word.
Besides, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used to its full potential. That's why I've never come out strongly against this.
Well, guess what, Nahida? Rukkhadevata's dead. She's not coming back. If your wisdom says that it's time to get rid of the Akasha, bloody do it. Don't let some woman's memory hold you back.
Anyway, the perspective advocated by the sages drowned out any voices of doubt. By now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams.
Yeah.
Got it. I hope my answers were satisfactory, seekers of knowledge.
But what if I just want to talk to you and say hi? How do I get access to the sanctuary of Surastana? Can you teleport me up to there? Can I contact you via the Akasha? Now that's a good question.
To be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's fading dream took a lot of mental energy. I think I may need to rest for a while.
Hence why we go gallivanting in the desert. Yep, okay.
Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now. the Akasha won't be able to conduct another project on the scale of the Sub-Zero Samsara in the immediate future.
Bloody hope so.
Go and get some sleep. Leave everything to us.
Leave what to us? We're not doing anything.
It was a
Going to the
relief.
desert.
This is truly the most exhausting birthday I've ever had.
It's probably the most constructive, though. Other than your literal birthday.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
It's okay. You're not malfunctioning. Don't take it to heart.
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We happened to walk by, so we thought we'd wait for you to wake up.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel
I knew that would be a
sometime.
conclusion.
Oh, I'm fine. I better go.
I knew her
Thank you.
immediate thought and consideration would be, oh, I should go get checked out. Something's wrong with me.
We've spent quite some time in Sumeru City, but ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard anything
Oh my god, look at
from
all the new
her.
quests filtering through. Jesus.
We can't just keep waiting around like this.
But
Let's
the
go find
desert.
Catherine and pick up some work so we can at least keep ourselves busy.
But the desert. Why are you telling me to go to here? Traveler? Traveler, did you pick up a constellation? Ooh. Ooh, nice. I like that. Oh my god, 15 million more? Is that really what that just said? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Yep, 15.6 million. Sheesh. That's going to disappear as I start leveling up those other two. So, we can unlock Tainari. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, do we really have time to be doing that though? We've got desert, we've got events, we've got a new game to play. Oh dear. Catherine! Catherine! It's fine, I didn't want to do you anyway. Ah yes, Dreams, Evidence, Deception, Chapter 3, Act 3, yeah. That is heading off to the desert. Anything else that has commenced? Yes, Core of 30 recruitment. Oh yeah, yes, okay. Hiring an assistant, interested candidates in. This is not quest related timed. No, I can do that one at my leisure. Thank God for that. Add it to the fucking club. God, look at them, it's a mess. To be fair though, it's only like 2 actual quest lines, but still, Jesus. Plus all the ones in the world I haven't done yet. Plus a continuation of the storyline that's going to keep going. Yeesh. Okay, well. I do think that next time I play, I'm going to have to start this quest, this event thingy. Otherwise, I'm just going to miss it entirely. And you know I want my Primogems. I don't think we got any Primogems for completing the story, did we? We only get the achievement ones, I think. I think only events generate Primogems. Would I be correct? Oh, I mean, we got enough for one. Don't know how that happened, but yeah, I think I'm pretty accurate in that assumption. Yeah, okay. So, yeah. We've got a few things to do before we can go to the desert, which just makes me really sad. I should probably give my thoughts. Gosh, okay. I mean, the Archon quest is still going, but I guess you can consider it part 1 and the next one's part 2. Yeah, I've liked it so far. The first chapter was kind of really just getting you traveling. Hello? I've never seen that happen before. Traveling through Sumeru, getting to the main city, getting to the secondary main city, and then back. It was just introducing you to the land, the lore, setting up, I guess, what's happening with Kusanali. So I did appreciate the setup in that. I think it was done pretty well. I wasn't emotionally tied to it or anything, but I think it was done pretty well as a leading quest. But his second quest in particular definitely surprised me. I didn't really put much thought into what I thought the second quest would be. I was just expecting to attend the festival and enjoy Nilu's dance. It's kind of the extent of what I thought. So having this really long Groundhog Day situation completely came out of nowhere for me, and I am glad of that. That worked out really well. It was an interesting concept, and I think they somewhat nailed it. I mean, towards the end, you know, they started having dumb thoughts and not connecting dots quick enough for my liking. But as a whole, the process and the journey that the repetitious days took and the different people we brought in, I did quite like the way that it set out. I will point out that, as I said, I felt nothing about Dunyazad. That was her name, wasn't it? Dunyazad? Yes, it is now. I didn't feel any connection to her. I never did. She was just simply another character. So having her declining health throughout the whole thing, I just didn't really care really much because I didn't connect to her as a character. It really, even when she died, I was just like, well, that's unfortunate. I guess we'll just write that one off as another Genshin death I don't care about. But that freaking docs right here. Oh my god, she simply said one line and it just killed me. The tears just, whoof, absolutely just annihilated me from one line. So that was it. That was interesting. I'm not going to lie. But that final scene with Nilou, that was beautiful. The way she danced, the pure joy in her face, and you could see the joy in her movements at being able to perform this dance as a gift to a god she's never met, but has faith in nonetheless. It was beautiful. And having the dream fade around the city and then around her as she danced, it was beautiful. And then having Dunyazad's, Jesus. See how much I remember her? I can't even remember her name. As her consciousness came through, like that hit even harder. I knew there was still a possibility of her not being dead because we hadn't really committed to that theory. But still, just having her spirit still appear regardless, whether she was moving on permanently or whether her spirit was going back to her body, it didn't even matter. Having her still witness that dance that she was going to miss, both because it technically never happened at this festival, because you gotta remember, this festival already happened. So the dance already failed because the sages already told them off, technically speaking, before we did the whole dream cycle. So technically Dunyazad missed it in reality. So having her spirit present to watch Nilou dance and just see her joy in it, that hit really hard as well. I think they did really well in that scene. It just hit all the notes it needed to, and I loved it. I really loved it. I think I can finally say there was something in Genshin that I truly loved and thought was done perfectly and couldn't be done any better, and that was that scene. How sad that I've been playing this game for 2 years and that's the first time I could say that. But still, we're improving, guys. We actually got to this point. Now, if we can just get an entire quest line I can say that about, I'd be very happy. And this one was pretty close. As I said, there were some things that you probably could change and make more concise and have thoughts go in different directions that made more sense, or made it more interesting. But as a whole, I actually really liked this quest line. It was really well done. I enjoyed it. So yay for writing improving again in Genshin. Yeah, that sentence made sense. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited about the next Archon quest because I feel like they're hitting all the notes now. That they're getting in their groove. So I have very high hopes for the desert quest chain. So you better not let me down, desert, or I'm gonna be real sad. But as I said before that, we've got to do the event quest. So that old chestnut. Yeah. But yay! Go Genshin! Improvement!